Well, hi, everybody. Welcome again to my virtual campfire. Thanks for joining me today. As a former campground owner and lifelong lover of camping and RVing, I like to stay up to date, if you will, with publications out there that are about the RV lifestyle. RV travel is one of those. You probably subscribe yourself. I like to think, and I wonder, is my audience here around our virtual campfire on Wingman Wisdom, does it line up with the RV travel audience? And I'll bet you there's quite a big overlap. If you subscribe to RV travel, type one. If you don't subscribe to the RV travel newsletter, type two. If you subscribe, type one. If you don't subscribe, type two. Well, in that newsletter, they do they've got polls. Oftentimes every week they'll do a poll on, do you like to do this or do you like to do that? They did one a couple of weeks ago that says, ask if RVing has lost its allure. And I'm going to review that article and I want to know what you think about it. If you agree that RVing has lost its allure, because I think it has for many, but we're going to kind of dissect this thing. And again, if you subscribe to RV Travel, type one. If you don't subscribe yet, type two. It says this January 19th, has RVing lost its allure? One of the reasons it has is the COVID frenzy. The writer says many folks purchased an RV during the COVID pandemic in an attempt to vacation while maintaining a safe distance from others. Now that COVID restrictions have eased, people are eyeing an easier, more glamorous way to travel. Once again, cruise ships and all-inclusive resorts hold greater appeal. In two words, black tank. The COVID frenzy is certainly over. We are returning back to the pre-COVID days in terms of sales, I think. And I think the demographic is changing. I think the writer is correct. That back during COVID, as a campground owner at that time, we were packed. In the beginning of the pandemic, we thought, oh my gosh, like everybody else. But it was the biggest cash cow for me for 2 years. It's unbelievable. But a lot of those people are no longer camping. Poor construction. It says RV construction is not what it used to be. There are horror stories about incorrectly installed electrical, water, and heating systems, defects in components, inferior RV materials, and overall slipshod workmanship. People are getting the message and getting out of RVing. I think that most of the people, I think some of this is true, but there's, some of it's not true. Is the construction as good as it used to be? No, it's not. But I think many of the horror stories that we hear have been exaggerated. Just saying. Not all of them, but many of them have been, to place the blame someplace else instead of on the RV owner themselves. But what do you think? Do you think that construction is a reason why a lot of people are not RVing anymore? It's lost its allure. Too many repairs needed. I hear this all the time. Poor construction often translates into so much money spent and precious time lost. Folks with RV issues soon discover that repairs cost money, lots of money. What's more is that every day their RV is in the shop is one less day they're able to camp. The current lack of experienced and knowledgeable repair folks just adds to the problem. Aging out. I think this is a big one, truly do. The boomer generation may simply be aging out of the RV life. Health and mobility issues can take away much of the joy found in RVing. Boomers are discovering alternatives to their beloved RVs, vacationing in other ways, purchasing a stationary RV park model in a warmer climate, and simply staying home. Has RVing lost its allure? Many boomers are saying yes. I think that I'm on the younger end of the baby boomer generation. And I wonder, have you ever considered about buying a park model and just letting somebody else cut the grass, let somebody else pick up the trash, let somebody else do everything, and you just stay there at a beautiful resort? I certainly have. In fact, I told my wife a couple of years ago, I said, you know what? We ought to buy 2 park models, and we ought to get one for summertime camping and one for wintertime camping, and just commute between the two. Sell the house. We haven't done that, but I wonder, have you ever thought of that? I think a lot of boomers are saying, let's get rid of the sticks and bricks and get a less expensive, smaller, maybe a park model. Maybe so. No new innovations. And here's one that kind of gets me. It says a young potential buyer at our local RV dealership toured 3 RVs displayed on the showroom floor. They're all the same, she complained. For the most part, she's right. Many floor plans have seen little in the way of major changes for the past several years. Overhearing her complaint, a salesperson reacted, quote, You only have so many square feet to work with. There's not much space to change things up in a major way. I agree. It's a trailer. I mean, you've got just so much space. People want everything. And it better be good too. Better be well built, better be good. It better be cheap. It better have perfect service records. There's only so much you can do. I mean, are people expecting too much? I think a lot of people expect what's new. And that's sort of normal. But sometimes I think that all those gadgets and electronics and the solar stuff, we don't use it. It's just more stuff to break. Do you agree? Underused. This is a big one. Remember driving away in your new to you RV? I do. We were so excited and eager to start adventuring. We immediately set out on what would become a 7-month trip away from our sticks and bricks home. We were retired after all, but not everyone's retired, nor can everyone work remotely. The dream of RVing every weekend soon diminishes, and you're camping once a month. Then it's once every 3 months until you realize your RV does more sitting than adventuring. Has RVing lost its allure? Yes, for those many would-be campers who can never find a good time to get away. I agree with that. I have a swimming pool in my backyard. You know how many times I've been in that swimming pool in the last year? Maybe 2 or 3 with my grandson. But I'm there all the time taking care of it. I just don't use it very often. I enjoy looking at it, thinking about it. I think RVs are kind of that way. We start out and you've got to be a diehard to use it a lot. And if you're trying to use an RV and justify it financially, good luck with that. You know, I mean, maybe some people can do it. I could never figure out a way to live the kind of lifestyle I wanted full-time RVing. I just couldn't. Rude campers, amen. Other RVers say RVing has lost its allure because things have changed from what they used to be. Folks are downright rude, opined one longtime RVer. They don't know or care to learn basic campground etiquette. They refuse to allow the rules or even be polite. Civil society isn't civil these days, so I'm done. Well, screw you. Be done. Oh, wait. That's rude. I think all of us, not just RVers, all of us, our fuses are shorter. Our tempers are more easily, come to the surface. I don't think it's just in RVing. I think it's in just about everything. It's a cultural thing. I think, this year being a political year, a presidential election year, and the wars going on, the economy straining a lot of budgets. I think that it's a big problem. Rude campers, rude people. Good luck at the grocery store. You go along, I go, to the grocery store and, I look at people and I'm not staring at them, but most of them don't even look up. Remember the days when you used to go in the grocery store and somebody, how you doing? Hi. That's where I'm going. You'd have some kind of interaction. Now it's out of my way. Wi-Fi issues. Our society's become highly dependent upon Wi-Fi. Yes. Even RVers want to stream a movie once in a while or call to check on the grandkids. Many of us bank online or need good connections for Zoom calls or other remote work. RVing quickly loses its allure with unreliable Wi-Fi connections. Is that an issue for you? When I was a campground owner, I had this idea. I think too many of us are addicted to these things. And I thought about making this little box. Like some restaurants, expensive restaurants, you can have your wine box or your wine in your certain little locker or your cigars or whatever in your own little locker at an expensive restaurant. You come and you get your own wine. I thought I'd make that and let RVers put their cell phones and their electronic gadgets in there, and I'd give them a discount or give them a free night stay. Don't use it. You need to make a phone call, come in the office. I'd reward them for not using it. My wife said, "Are you crazy? Everybody wants Wi-Fi." So we never did that. What do you think? Inflation and rates. Increased camping fees also contribute to RVing losing its allure. When energy and other costs rise due to inflation, campgrounds are forced to pass along their higher rates to RVers. Interest rates might also be to blame. Coupled with higher overall RV prices, the amount of interest paid often disqualifies a would-be RVer. There are so many dealers I talk to that have people come in and they just can't qualify. They want to buy that one. They want to buy that one. They got a down payment. They got good credit. They just can't afford the payment. Interest is high right now. It's not historically high, but compared to what it was during the pandemic for last 5, 6, 7 years, the interest rates are quite high, and it has got a lot of people out of the market. The other thing is increased camping fees. A big corporation bought my campground. They made improvements, many improvements, and it really looks good. I've been out there. It's like, wow, I got lots of money, but I wonder if that money was well spent, because I think that there's a lot of RVers, the ones that haven't lost the allure. RVing hasn't lost its allure to, that don't care about the water park, that don't care about the jumpy things and all the stuff. I mean, it's nice maybe once in a while for the kids, but many people who just love to RV, they don't need all that fancy stuff. These corporations have to get their capital investment back, and they do it by raising their fees. So, I predict if the economy continues to kind of stay in stagflation, I think that's where we're at, that this summer we're going to see more open and available campsites than we have in years past, last few years anyway. And even the prices are going to come down. Campgrounds start making some deals to you. But let me know what you think. So this was in RV travel, as I mentioned. Let's see. I need to wrap it up here in a minute. But has RVing lost its allure for you? Has it? If RVing has lost its allure, type 3. If RVing has not lost its allure and you still love it, in spite of all this stuff, maybe some things we didn't even mention, type 4. If it's lost its allure, type 3. If you still love it, type 4. As I said, I like to sort of compare notes, if you will, our audience around this virtual campfire compared maybe to the people that read RV Travel. And you know what? I'm going to put a link to RV Travel down below. If you've not yet subscribed, I would encourage you to do so. It's all about RVing, good folks probably like you and me. So thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up and let me hear from you. Has RVing lost its allure? Type 3. If no way, Jose, I love RVing, type 4 in the comments down below. All right, I'll see you next time. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman, reminding you, be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. Bye-bye, everybody. Say real quick, have you subscribed to our new channel on YouTube? Yes? No? It's 100% RV walkthroughs. Each one is done by my friends in the RV Dealers I Trust network. This is the only channel on YouTube, the only one I know of, that has both new and used RV walkthroughs from not just one RV dealer, but a variety of dealers, all of which, as I mentioned, are in the RV Dealers I Trust network. A link to the new channel is in the description down below. I hope you'll check it out.